Okay. Are we going to be serious or are we going to do any outtakes?
No.
Okay, this is serious. Casey Ashmore.
Ben Massar.
We're here to talk to you today a little bit about something that comes up in our practice on a fairly regular basis, and that is when does your right to silence trigger, and when should you invoke it?
Yes.
And what are, essentially what is the breadth of your rights under the Constitution of both the United States of America and the state of Texas? And then lastly, what things can you do to get in front of a law enforcement investigation, or maybe should you do to get in front of a law enforcement investigation when you are the recipient of target letters or target calls from investigators?
Yes, so a lot of times people are very confused. We get clients, or I get a lot of clients that say, they never Mirandized me. And I said, well, what that means is they cannot use statements that you give to them during custodial interrogation. And that's a very important aspect to remember.
Right, that's a critical word, and it isn't triggered the first time you have a meeting with a law enforcement investigator, right?
No. There's lots of case law, a lot of cases involving what is custodial interrogation and what statements may or may not be used during the prosecution of a case.
Right, and so that basically that means when you are deprived of liberty, you're no longer free to leave an investigatory situation. You're down in the interrogation room, or there's some incident on the side of the road and the law enforcement officers inform you you're no longer free to leave. That's the time when the interrogation occurs. Prior to that, you're just making statements at your own peril.
Right. And even at times, even if you're on the side of the road or something like that and then you have handcuffs, that still may not trigger custodial interrogation. So what Casey and I are trying to tell you is that you have the right to remain silent. I have this handy dandy pocket Constitution. It's in here. You have the right to remain silent.
Right. It's one of the things that our founding fathers felt was so important that it's memorialized in our Constitution. It's also memorialized in our state constitution and in state law and in the Code of Criminal Procedure. So don't be afraid to invoke that to protect yourself.
Right. And if you are a target of police, they're calling you, writing you letters,
serving you letters. It's a scary moment when the Department of Public Safety or a law enforcement investigatory body comes to your place of work, your place of business, and they serve a target letter from the grand jury or something to that effect, saying, give us some documents.
Right. Ask for your lawyer. Say, hey, I'll be glad to talk to you, but I want my lawyer present. I want my lawyer present at all times. And you do have that right to counsel.
That's right. And that's not something that doesn't, I think we grow up in this television age where we think that if you're lawyering up, that means you're guilty. That's not. You're just going to be informed about what rights you have before you engage in whatever that investigation is.
Right. So you got to get in front, invoke your right to silence, invoke your right to an attorney, and then at a time when you talk to your attorney, maybe we can create some affirmative defenses in this case before the case is even presented to the district attorney's office or the grand jury.
Right on. Anyway, I hope this has been some help. Have a great day.
Take care.